Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. In this video we're going to take a look at my top 3 gaming NFT projects that I'm looking forward to and that I will try to get into. If you're excited about this, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe at the end of the video. The first project on my list is Kaiju Kingz. This one launched I think in October, middle of October. Tried to get into the launch but it was sold out so quickly that I wasn't able to. So I kept my eye on this and it seems like they have a really interesting roadmap coming up. Scrolling down on the main page we see of course that Kaiju Kingz is sold out. Scrolling down further, we see that 3,333 Genesis Kaijus were generated, and if you match those two, you'll be able to create some baby Kaijus. The mint price was 66666 Ethereum, which of course was very interesting. We'll take a look at the current listing price, and you'll see that this was a very nice investment if you were able to get in. Now, very important distinction between a Genesis Kaiju and a baby Kaiju. A Genesis Kaiju is able to generate 5 RWASTE tokens per day, and a baby Kaiju is not able to do this. In other words, you are generating passive income if you have a Genesis Kaiju. So let's just take a look at what RWASTE is doing right now. You click here, then you can copy the contract. And then we move over to Uniswap and we see that 1 RWASTE is about $3. In other words, you are generating almost $15 a day just by holding a Genesis Kaiju. Now when going to OpenSea, you have to look for Kaiju Kingz, but be sure you have the verified one, otherwise you'll be scammed. We also see a very nice floor price of half an Ethereum. Now it's very important, the baby Kaijus and the regular Kaijus, they're all mixed together. So all of these, they're all baby Kaijus. So if you want to receive that RWASTE, be sure that you don't buy a baby Kaiju. Now how do you know if you have a baby Kaiju or a regular Kaiju? Well, it's very simple. All the first numbers, they go up to 3,333 are Genesis Kaijus. So starting from 3,334, it's a baby Kaiju. And the first real Kaiju that we meet is 1.75. So over here we can see 538, 2,700. So these are all Genesis Kaijus. Now when it comes to pricing, 1.7 is not cheap, of course. Scrolling down and looking at the activity, if you look in the past 90 days, we see that the price, of course, it used to be higher. So it was on average 4, 4.5, 5, 6, and so forth. And then it started declining. Now, of course, as soon as the baby Kaijus got released, the average price went down because the baby Kaiju is a lot cheaper. So in that sense, maybe it wasn't the best idea to put them all together. But hey, this is what happened. Either way, I think the 1.7 right now is a pretty good price. It's way down from the heights of the beginning when the project launched. And this is of course why I picked one up myself for 1.7. Now in the beginning of the video I talked about gaming NFT projects, and this is exactly why I'm bringing up Kaiju. So Kaiju Kingz is going to expand into the Kaijuverse. This means they're going to create games, and of course they will be trying to put their Kaijus in different gaming platforms as well. Think about Decentraland, think about the web project that I talked about earlier. As you can see on my Twitter, I made a little screenshot where I'm using my Kaiju in the World Wide Web game. Looking at the roadmap they published on November 29th, we see that they're going to launch a game, and not just a game, they're also going to launch a new NFT, which is a mutant NFT for both the baby Kaijus and the Genesis Kaijus. When we take a look at the Medium post that they did on November 29th, we see a complete roadmap, and in that roadmap we see the announcement of a mutant Kaiju. Now in order to be able to get your mutant Kaiju, you'll of course first of all need a baby Kaiju or a Genesis Kaiju, but you also need a failed experiment, and you will need to complete the Kaiju Rooftop Rampage game, which will look like this. Of course, this minigame is not the only thing they're going to make. When we scroll down, we see that in Q1, Q2, they will be expanding into the Kaiju universe. So Sorashima will be their own metaverse, in which you'll be able to run around with your Kaiju in a multiplayer mode. Now I know that buying these NFTs is a lot of money, so if you don't have that big of a budget, you might be able to look at playing on the RWASTE. Now why do I say this? Well, basically you'll have to spend 750 RWASTE in order to create a baby Kaiju, and probably if you want to generate a mutant Kaiju, you'll need RWASTE as well. Now, why is this interesting? Well, if you have a Kaiju, you're generating 5 RWASTE per day. So even after 30 days, you only have 150 RWASTE. So even if you had your Kaiju for 2 months, you only have 300 RWASTE. So if you want to merge, you will still need additional RWASTE. This means that there is a high likelihood that there is a higher demand for RWASTE when the game launches, because everybody wants to generate their mutant Kaijus. And when we take a look at the RWASTE chart, we see that it's gone down significantly. So I think at this price it seems to be bottoming out around $2, which of course is pretty accessible. So even if you're not capable of buying a Genesis Kaiju, or you're just not interested in NFTs, you might be able to make a little play here just playing on the RWASTE price. Now do keep in mind this is a very small token, it's not even listed on CoinGecko and so forth. So it is a risky play, so please do be careful. And again, none of this is financial advice, please do your own research. Next up is the NFT project of Alex Becker and Elio Trades. This is of course NeoTokyo. The website might not look that interesting, but the project, there's a lot of hype around this one. So I think in October they also launched their Genesis line. Sadly, this is definitely not affordable for 99% of the people out there. When we take a look on OpenSea, we see that the floor price of the NeoTokyo Citizens is 55 ETH. Of course, this is insane. The reason for this is because everybody is diamond handing these NFTs because they expect that there will be a lot of utility for these tokens in the future. As we can see, almost 2K items were generated and 92 are only for sale. So why am I even mentioning this? Well, this weekend they launched the Outer Citizens. So this is a second wave of NFTs for the NeoTokyo metaverse. Because yes, you heard me correctly, they're going to build an entire metaverse around this. And who is better placed than somebody like Elio Trades or Alex Becker? Now this time, however, I was in time for the minting event. Sadly, everybody was thinking there was going to be a Squid Game-like event, but it was a simple puzzle, and then you had to go to the website, burn some bytes, and then you have to pay 1 ETH to mint the token. Now the problem was I hadn't prepared 1 ETH, so I had to transfer it from my exchange wallet, and of course this was too late. Everything was already minted by the time it arrived in my wallet. Nonetheless, the NeoTokyo outer identities that are available right now on OpenSea. Again, look for the verification or verified collection mark, which is created by the NeoTokyo Citadel, also a verified account. And then we see that right now the floor price is 6.4. Yesterday, I think the lowest price was 3.7 or 3.8, and then it shot up really quickly to 5 Ethereum. For me personally, 6 ETH and above is out of reach. If it would drop down below 5 Ethereum, I might think about it. So I'm going to wait and let it cool down, and then hopefully it doesn't explode in the next 2 weeks. Now I know the original NeoTokyo identities, they're going for 50 ETH, which of course is insane. I can understand that some people are hoping for the same result, but we have to be realistic. The Genesis project is of course NeoTokyo identity, so that's the original one, and the second one will never get the same price as the original one. Second of all, the supply is higher, so the first one we had 2,000 NFTs generated, right now we have 4,500 NFTs. And the third argument is that the outer identities are not going to generate the bytes token. This is only for the original NeoTokyo Genesis identities. We do know that there's a land sale coming, and of course if you have a NeoTokyo identity, whether it's the outer identity or a Genesis identity, you will get first access to these land sales. And of course the fact that they're talking about a land sale means that the whole project is moving along nicely. So I'm definitely not confident that the price will drop, but usually when a project spikes there is a cooldown period, and normally towards the end of the year I can imagine some people want to sell off, cash in their gains, and then start the new year fresh. The last project that I want to talk about is Dark Odessey. This is still a very small project, so in that sense it might be a very interesting one to look at. This project doesn't have an official website yet, but they do have a Discord where you can find all the information. So they're moving towards the completion of their NFT launch. And the fun thing is, it is directly linked to a game, so they're completing the game right now, and you have to play the game to get into the whitelist. As you can see in a tweet on the 24th of November, all levels of our whitelist game have been completed, and the game is closer to launch than ever before. So this is what the game looks like. So it's a platform action adventure game. And then we move over to the Discord. We see a post on the 6th of December. The art is done, the game is done, the contracts are done. If all goes well, you'll have a launch date soon. Yeah, be sure if you're interested in this project to keep an eye on the announcement channel here. So we'll quickly take a look at this little video that shows you how the game will look like. Then when we take a look at the roadmap, if they hit the 100% sold, which means if they sell all the 4,000 NFTs, the Dark Odessey team will begin constructing on expanding the universe to a multiplayer, player versus player experience where you can battle your fellow Dark Odessey holders. So my suggestion to you, if this has piqued your interest, simply keep an eye on the Discord, play the game. If you think the game is fun and that they have what it takes, then you can consider buying the NFT and keeping an eye on this project. Now, another thing that gives me confidence in this project is that the founder of this project is Ryan D, so he's public about this. He also has his own YouTube channel. When taking a look at this YouTube channel, we see that he's got 25,000 followers. He knows what he's talking about, he has connections, he has experience in the NFT space. And again, by making a game just to get into the whitelist, this gives me confidence that he's capable of making and completing a game as well. Last thing that I noticed is that there is a citizen, so a original NeoTokyo holder also following this project. So this could be interesting. If some of the people from the NeoTokyo community support this project, this could create some hype. Right, that's it for this video. If you want to be kept up to date throughout the week and don't want to wait until a new video, then be sure to follow me on Twitter, because everything that I'm doing, I usually make a little tweet about this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and post a comment that will help push this video in the YouTube algorithm. That's it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.